I finish collecting questions from the participant. There are 51 questions from participants. There is many questions. So because of time, we choose 10 of them to be shared in the screen. And please, Mr. Alter, to answer to this question. We can start from number one, but it is in Indonesian. If you understand Indonesian, you can directly answer this question, but if no, Mr. Krismono or Mr. Agus from Gadirius will help you to translate to English.
Yes, please. This would be perfect if they can help a little bit. My Indonesia, my Bahasa is not that good.
Okay. Please, Pak Agus or Pak Krismono, help Mr. Alter to translate this question to English. Question number one.
Hello, Christian.
Hello, Agus.
Hi, how are you? Great?
I'm great today. Thanks.
Okay. The question from Mr. Muhammad Samsi from Grobogan. 1 minute. Okay, what is the advantage and disadvantage of MPS and MPR? What is the difference MPS and MPR, please?
The MVR was designed for high capacities and for big grinding rollers. In the coal mill is still the MPS design because this is a very common good mill, reliable mill with a pressure shock-proof housing. The new vertical mills by Pfeiffer are all MVR type, but in terms of coal grinding, MPS is better because you only have this one big door and not much false air. MVR mill has always 4 or 6 grinding rollers, and this means 4 or 6 big openings. And a coal mill is small. We have more than 2,000 reference of this type of mill, and by this, the MPS design has a better air leakage prevention for coal grinding. Okay. In the future, maybe also coal mills will be MVR, but now we need to change the type because MPS is a very, very good mill for coal grinding. We use this also for gypsum calcining and very special applications. It's reliable, it's easy to maintain and use, so no need to change to a complete new system. MVR is made for very high capacities like 500, 600 tons per hour OPC and 1,400 tons per hour raw material grinding maximum.
Okay. Jadi Pak Muhammad Rizky, ya poinnya seperti yang tadi dibilangkan bahwa MPR dan MPS itu kenapa dipakai untuk coal mill selama ini? Karena dari kapasitasnya pun untuk coal mill rata-rata rendah ya, hanya 50 sampai 100 kayak gitu. Kalau untuk semen mill sama raw mill biasanya kita pakai MPR. Itu untuk high capacity ya. Jadi selama ini memang di dunia ini banyaknya pakai MPS untuk coal mill. Christian, do you have any experience to use MPR for the coal mill in the world?
No, not used yet for coal mill. This will take another years until we change the design for the MVR mill to also grind coal. So we still rely on the MPS design because it's still a very good mill.
Oke, thank you so much. Mungkin jelas ya Pak Muhammad Rizky Syamsi. Jadi di dunia memang belum pernah ada yang pakai selain MPS untuk coal mill. Okay, next question number 2. You can read it by yourself.
The torque support. We don't have torque support for coal mills because coal mill is soft to grind. We don't have this high pressure in the hydraulics and not that much vibration like in big raw mills where we have high throughput and cement mills where we have hard clinker. So there's no need that there's a torque support for coal mills.
Okay. Ya mungkin jelas ya Pak Agung dari Semindo. Christian, I heard also from our colleagues from Semindo and so on. Yeah, they will send the email address to our colleagues from ISBI. So for the future, yeah, if there is the other question or the other whatever they want to ask to you, is it possible to ask directly to us and I'll pass it to you?
That's possible, yes.
Ya, oke ya Pak Agung, Pak Rizky dan lain-lain juga nanti kalau setelah ini ada tambahan pertanyaan bisa silahkan di email, bisa melalui ISBI, Pak Eko, Pak Widi, atau Pak Arif, atau bisa langsung ke saya, tapi saya tetap untuk urusan ini saya koordinasi dengan ISBI, gitu ya. Terus Pak Marzuki dari Semen Indonesia, Apakah cold mill? Is there any possibility to upgrade the existing cold mill?
In some cases it is possible, but most of the cases, if there's not an MPS design, for example, and it's and we don't have the data about how this mill was designed and calculated, it's not easy. Then it's just looking into the class to see if it's working. So we can do classifier upgrades, but mill upgrades sometimes possible, but not often.
Oke. Ya, jelas ya Pak Marzuki ya. Jadi kalau upgrade itu bisa asal datanya lengkap dan perlu memang analisa lebih dalam lagi karena menyangkut banyak hal. Ya, tapi memungkinkan gitu ya. I think better we also explain for this existing for upgrade from the existing regarding the cold mill installed at Lochna.
Yeah. For this special example, Lochna in Aceh, it's not possible to upgrade the mill because the mill was small. It was designed for small capacity. It's a Chinese model, so nobody knows the design data. If it can take higher air volume, for example, in Indonesia, coal mills are designed by air volume, and if the mill is too small, then you cannot take more air volume, so you have to revamp the mill and have to install a new one. So in Lochna, in 99%, it will not happen that this mill can be upgraded. So this is our opinion, also opinion from others. So no chance to upgrade this mill. For Lochna, it must be a bigger mill just to take the air volume and to have the safety and the guarantees.
Ya, terima kasih. Jadi kalau yang seperti di Lochna itu mau di-upgrade dari 30 sampai 35 ton per jam ke 55 ton per jam, menurut Christian itu sangat besar effortnya dan kemungkinan dia bilang 90% tidak akan bisa diupgrade. Selanjutnya dari Semen Padang, Pak Jeffrey Anthony, what is the difference between our cold mill, Pfeiffer cold mill, compare to the other cold mill?
To which cold mill?
To the other brand.
Okay, Pfeiffer cold mills, the biggest difference is we have only one access with this big door, which have a very low air leakage intake. Others have more, and we can have very big housing for taking moist coal like lignite coal, but we can at the same time keep the grinding elements small. So this will have not a big cost increase. We can have a very big housing and smaller grinding elements. Others need to increase also grinding elements when they increase the housing because the grinding elements are going through the housing. Ours are inside, and we can just make a bigger triangular pressure frame. So this is possible, and it's a very stable system with 3 grinding rollers. So it's always even distribution on the table. If you have 2 rollers or 4, it's always one chair leg is up.
Okay. Yeah, I think better if you have comparison data. Yeah, compare our cold mill Pfeiffers, compare with FLS, with diselenggarakan and so on. Do you have it?
I'm sure we have something, but FLS mill is not that much difference because the FLS Atox mill is a Pfeiffer MPS mill, just with a few changes.
Okay.
The FLS Atox mill was invented out or developed out of the MPS mill after they canceled the license in 1999.
Yeah.
So before something.
Oke. Gitu ya Pak Jeffrey Anthony, nanti kalau memungkinkan secara detail akan dikirim tabel daripada perbedaan. Tapi tadi dia bilang kalau antara Pfeiffer cold mill dibanding dengan FLS itu tidak jauh beda karena dulunya katanya FLS itu lisensi dari Pfeiffer. Jadi untuk Atox lah ya, untuk Atox. Okay. The next question probably from Pak Alfian Muhammad Reza from PLN. Please by yourself.
Yes. So this is because of only one access door. In our MPS, we only have one door. Others have 2 or 3 doors, and every door creates air leakage. Air leakage means ambient air is entering the mill with 21% O2. So the more doors you have, the more O2, the higher the O2 level will be in the mill. And to the second question, to bring this O2 level down, we need inert gases from the kiln. And if this is not sufficient, we need this kind of inertization system, which is either CO2 or N2. And by this, we can reduce the O2 level. This is something every European mill supplier will do. And with our mill, we can grind any kind of coal, lignite, subbituminous coal, pet coke, anthracite, without changing the mill.
Okay, I think it's clear for Pak Alfi and Muhammad Reza. The next question will be from Pak Ahmad Buhari from PT PJB Service. Why every coal mill should be provided by 3 roller only? Why not 4? Is it only for coal? You can explain.
Yes, in the past, MPS mills from Pfeiffer were used for every kind of grinding. But then a few years ago, in the 2005 years, then everybody wants to have bigger kilns, so the mills must be bigger. And if you have only 3 rollers, then for cement and for raw material, the rollers would be bigger, and you can't handle the weight. So this is why we now have the MVR series with 4 or 6 rollers for the big capacities with smaller rollers. But for coal, there's no big capacity increase, and 3 rollers are better than 4 in terms of these small mills, because if you have 3 legs of a chair, it's always a stable system. If you have 4 rollers or 4 chairs, there can be an uneven distribution, and 1 roller is not touching with the same pressure, for example. But with 3 rollers, you always have a stable system and an equal distribution on the grinding bed and the planetary gearbox.
Oke, jadi Pak Ahmad Buhari ya, tadi dia bilang ya kenapa 3 mil, dulu memang ada 4 mil dan lain-lain, tapi karena ini khusus untuk coal mill, jadi coal mill itu dengan kapasitas rendah, 3 roller itu cukup, sementara untuk semen mill, raw mill itu rata-rata 4 roller, bahkan dia bilang tadi sampai 6 roller. Ya, jadi gimana kapasitasnya? Karena kalau kapasitas besar, maka 3 roller juga itu akan tidak seimbang, gitu ya, tidak balance. Okay, for question number 7, you can read it by yourself, please.
What is the state of the MPS? So you mean, the MPS mill is still developed a little, so we improved MPS, but it's a completed system, so there's no big developments anymore. The system is working since more than 70 years on the market without problems, and we have good references and reports. So for MPS, there are no developments so far, only in terms of Industry 4.0. And the second, what is the maximum inlet coal mill? I'm not sure if he means the moisture or the throughput rate. Coal mill, I see, temperature is not for low rank coal. Depending on the mill size, 350 degrees. And this is also the maximum the kiln gets you. So we can control this by the recirculated air, which we have in the airflow, and the kiln outlet temperature from the preheater.
Okay, next. Hello, Kristen. I have an idea like this. I think better you also, after this meeting, you can please write it down.
Yes, I will write down the answers again.
It's better like that, yeah? So we'll share it
complete this table.
Yes, I'll call from ISBI, and from ISBI we'll share it to the participant, yeah? Okay. Oke, dan kita lanjutkan ke nomor 9 ya. How much? Okay, please you can write it by yourself, please.
The power draw is depending on the type of coal. So for standard lignite coal, it's between 9 and 11 kWh per ton for the grinding, and another maybe 1 kWh per ton for the classifier. So maximum 12 to 13 is the mill. Then you also need, of course, the auxiliary equipment and the fan. So let's talk about 25 to 30, depending really on the kind of coal and the moisture. So this is for every project is different.
Okay. Okay, Chris. Then number 10 from Rodian Semen Jawa.
Yeah, the cleaning of the mill. If you look at raw and cement mills, we have an external material recirculation system, automatic system, which takes out the material from the mill and brings it back to the feed. For coal mill, this is different because of the O2 limitation, so we cannot install a circulation system. The material will be collected in a chute under the mill, and you can open the chute from time to time and take out the small amount of coal. There's not much coal going out. It's just a small amount. You can take it on a wheel loader, a small one, or you can collect it and can bring it back to the feed. And this, for cleaning it, we have scrapers and a hot gas channel, which will turn inside hot gas channel to take out the material. And for maintenance, for clearance, we can turn the table and can lift the rollers, and by means of gravity, the material will drop through the nozzle ring and then will be taken outside. So it's very easy to clean.
Do you have a written procedure in this area?
Should be in the maintenance instruction.
Secara lengkap dijelaskan. Oke, selanjutnya ke nomor 11 ya, Pak Marzuki dari Semen Indonesia Group. Apakah coal mill existing bisa diupgrade kapasitas pengeringannya? Regarding the existing coal mill, they want to upgrade for the dryer capacity from 10% until 20%. Is it possible?
The drying capacity?
Yeah, drying capacity.
With this kind of coal, it's hard because it's low rank coal with a high moisture, high volatile. So you really need to look at the design volume of the mill, if it's possible to bring in more air, and then if the classifier is big enough and all the ducting. Of course, we can then supervise it to check the data, or they can give us the data of the mill and of the process, and then we can make a first estimation if it's possible to optimize this mill.
Oke, jadi Pak Marzuki mungkin nanti kalau memungkinkan, kalau ada datanya nanti bisa diinformasikan lewat ISBI atau langsung kami, nanti kami koordinasi dengan ISBI. Jadi kan ini dari moisture ya, naikin dengan high moisture lah ya, high moisture, low rainfall lah istilahnya. Bisa kami minta data nanti untuk diteliti lebih lanjut oleh Pfeiffer. Okay, the next question from Pak Marzuki from Semen Indonesia. Apakah sudah ada teknologi coal dryer? Do you have any technology for coal dryer, especially for long rain coal?
Not yet.
Yes, sorry.
Not that we have dryers in our portfolio, but not for coal, because these are very special equipment. And there are some companies on the market which are supplying coal dryers, but this is always a big risk, because you have to have a lot of safety measures. In our mill, we can dry coal up to 45–50% feed moisture, so this is possible. But if you have an existing mill and you use now very low rank coal with higher moisture, then either you have a lower capacity or you need to find a company which is supplying this kind of dryers. But we don't have, because our mill is working as a dryer, and in the past there was not much request for such dryers.
Okay. Jadi tidak ada Pak Marzuki, kita tidak, maksudnya Pfeiffer tidak punya teknologi coal dryer ini. Okay, the last question from Pak Yanuar Selamat Irawan, PT Semen Grobogan, untuk sistem reject box. Okay, regarding the reject box, for coal mill, normally using the manual one, right? For Pfeiffer, do you have the automatic one for this reject box?
It's somehow automatic. So we have automatic slide gate, which only opens if the second gate is closed. So we have an automatic system you can control in front of the mill, but it's only a small amount of reject which is collected in this box. So you will only open it maybe once a shift or maybe once a day.
Okay, you have, yeah. Because the Pak Yanuar coming from Semen Grobogan, they have also our Pfeiffer mill. I think better also you can. Do you still remember what kind of our system for delivering for Semen Grobogan? Is it manual or automatic?
I'm not sure. I have to ask our other departments, because this was procured by a Chinese company and they made the contractor. Not sure what they have bought. If it's fully automatic with automatic air flights, or if there's also a manual lock on site that you can only open it when the other is locked.
Oke, jadi Pak Yanuar nanti mau dicek dulu yang dikirim ini apa yang manual atau auto, tapi pada intinya Pfeiffer ada yang auto. Oke, 12 ya Pak Arif ya.
Thank you Pak Agus.